Right, I've been hearing this like crazy, okay? And people keep bringing it up. Mavs reportedly interested in trade for Pacers Buddy Hield, but I also heard rumors about potentially the San Antonio Spurs going after Hield. Don't know how I feel about that one. Don't really think that's worth it. Because he's, first off, he's on an expiring contract, right? So don't really see too much of a point there. And I don't think that the Spurs are in a rush to build around Wemby without knowing how to build around Wemby yet. You get what I'm saying? I don't think the Spurs absolutely know how. Like, it's kind of a good bet or clear bet that, hey, you surround around by some shooters and you're going to be good for now. And that's what the Spurs have done. They got quite a few shooters with Serge Jabari Smith and Osman, and like they got shooters, right? McDermott, he's still there. Like they got shooters that will help. But I don't necessarily think that the Spurs know how to build around them, nor are they even thinking about this. Luka better fit, I think. I do think that Mavs having him is a better fit than San Antonio at this point. Just kind of weird. I just think this is kind of a weird one. Let me see if I can find the actual article that brought up the Spurs to begin with. So you see, build top potential landing spots, and I think they listed us. So they got the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Spurs. Here we go. And this is what they had to say. The Spurs are eventually going to have to build a functional basketball team around Victor Wembanyama. See, this is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, let's do that now with a player on an expiring contract. Right now, they're a mismatched collection of players who would do more harm than help for Wembanyama's development if it weren't for the guiding hand of Greg Popovich. What? Can you back up your claim here? Right now, they're mismatched collection of players who would do more harm than help for Wemby if it wasn't for Pop? What are we talking about? How? I mean, yeah, we got a kind of a mismatch. I mean, a lot of these players, other than Blake Wesley, where it's kind of like, okay, we still got to see what, you know, we get out of him. He does so many things pretty well, but you see what he can be elite at, Other than that, like, I don't think it's that mismatched, is it? I mean, having Popovich definitely helps, but I don't know. You got Sohan, who's a versatile defender. On the defensive end, I think that the team is it makes a lot of sense. It's very comprehensible on why our defense looks the way it does. I mean, they complement each other very well defensively. I guess offensively, we're still waiting to see, like, okay, can Sohan make that big of a jump? But I don't know. I think that they all play well with Wemby. Even if we didn't have Pop, I think kind of makes, he says, pretty mismatched. You think so? I mean, I guess it is trying to figure out, like, who fits where. But I just think that they do complement each other, at least on the defensive end, which we're all expecting Victor Wembanyama first year to be elite defensively. And the team goes well together defensively. I mean, I suppose offensively, it's like, I don't know, I guess, but we still have a lot of shooters, which still would make sense for Wemby. I don't know. I just think it's kind of hard to tell because we don't know. We don't know how to build around Wemby yet. What just happened? Wemby may eventually develop into a two-way superstar who bends the way we look at basketball, but he's not that at the moment. His shooting ability is more theoretical than actualized, and it's going to be 2 or 3 years before he'll be able to develop a reliable jump shot, if he does. I kind of agree. I mean, his shooting stroke is pretty doggone good, and I have no reason to believe that he would. And when he goes off, like, he turns to a whole nother monster. But yes, it is all theoretical right now. As it stands, San Antonio is surrounding its non-shooter future superstar. Well, yeah, don't call him a non-shooter now. He can knock him down. Let's not, come on. I mean, I know his percentage is pretty rough, but that's in France. Anyways, superstar with a roster full of mediocre at best floor spacers. I guess, I don't know. I'm not gonna, whatever. The exact type of players who will limit his offensive freedom as he develops. I just don't, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that they're gonna limit Wemby. Limit his offensive freedom? Who? Who's gonna limit his offensive freedom? Even Devin Vassell has had the role of a catch and shoot 3-point shooter when DeJounte Murray was there. That's more of what he was. That's basically what he was. Like, who's gonna just take all of Wemby's touches? Who? Zach Collins? Jeremy Sohan? Trey Jones? What are we talking about? Who's gonna limit his offensive freedom? Am I reading this wrong? Is Devin a non-shooter as well, Clan? Of course not. Of course not. Pop limits everyone's offensive freedom, I suppose. Adding Hield to the mix would give the Spurs. See, adding Hield, I feel like that's even more just throwing players at the wall. I think that's even more mismatched, but whatever. Mix would give the Spurs at least one elite shooter who creates gravity, and potentially two when he shares the floor with Doug McDermott. We have Devin Vassell. The Spurs would understandably balk giving up much for Hield, and Hield himself may not want to take part in a rebuild, but there's logic in a marriage here. There's logic in a marriage here. Not really. It just basically says, hey, Spurs got Wemby. So, like, here's a player that's available. Team him up with Wemby. And that's basically been everybody's. That's why I don't go over those trade proposals. Because a lot of times they don't make a lot of sense to me. It's literally just, oh, get them to play with Wemby. That's a bad take. With this, you're not talking about what I said, right? I just think getting Hield doesn't make a ton of sense right now. He's on an expiring contract. Let's see. Yeah, this is his last year. Oh no, not you. The art. Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. What was that? I mean, pretty good stats last season. I mean, yeah, they're all right. Just don't think it's worth it. I just think that's just, I don't know. Devin averaged 20 points per game before injury. He's pretty good. Yeah, he is. I'm not saying that he'll have the same type of like shooting prowess of Buddy here. Obviously not. I like Buddy Hield. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that. But at the same time, I think that he fits in just fine. Hield can't play defense. I mean, he was at least averaging a steal per game last season. So he at least did that. I just think it's silly. I just think that's that's just like a random like, oh yeah, Spurs. Because everyone else on this list actually does make sense a little bit. You know, Celtics, okay, we're trying to win a championship. Lakers, okay, we're trying to win a championship. Because, I mean, Buddy Hield's like 30. It's like, all right, that makes sense. Mavs, trying to get him. Okay, that makes sense. Spurs? Why? We're still in the midst of a rebuild. I don't know. It's just throwing thing. Everyone wants everyone to play with Wemby now. That's all it comes down to.